Path of Exile 2 just keeps getting better. Holy shit. IGN POD. What are they going to send the IGN video? Let's watch.
I've had the opportunity to play Path of Exile 2 several times throughout its development cycle, and there's one thought I had after my last session. This action RPG keeps getting better every time I play it.
Whoa, what the f***? Dude, a game that's being developed is getting better. No!
The first session I had the opportunity to join was a demo at Gamescom 2023. Grinding Gears' Jonathan Rogers took me through the Warrior and Druid class, and I also had the opportunity to wait in line and try out the Monk for the first time. As expected, I got my butt kicked, but that's par for the course. In early 2024, I had the chance to try out the Ranger, whose incredibly fun gameplay loop has you shooting lightning arrows and propagating little lightning storms of death across the screen. And more recently, I got to try out the Monk again and get some hands-on time with the Warrior, Sorceress, and Witch, all for the first time. Each of them feels unique, powerful, and interesting to play as. The Monk, once you get past the early leveling portions that have you whacking away at enemies with slow and methodical staff strikes, becomes a force to be reckoned with. You can dash in to weaken your enemies, get a few charges, and then annihilate the playing field with an incredibly powerful staff strike to the ground that sends ripples of energy that rip into the earth itself.
Whoa,
and once I got the hang of this class's gameplay loop, I felt like I may have found another new favorite. But the majority of my time I found myself playing as the Witch, who was one of the first classes.
That bell shit looks fucking weird, bro. Wait, so you put a bell on the ground and you smack the bell.
My time I found myself playing as the Witch, who...
And it's also like it's got collision. Did that bell? I don't know what the fuck's going on there, bro. I guess we'll find out.
Who was one of the first classes I enjoyed in the original Path of Exile. In the sequel, the Witch starts out as a corpse-reviving menace who chooses what abilities these minions wield, and can even command them to do unique attacks to great effect. The Unearth skill gem, for instance, will create spikes of bone that travel from the earth in front of you, doing a bit of damage, but these will also raise the bones of corpses as short-lived construct minions. You'll then start unlocking skill gems like Skeletal Warrior, Skeletal Sniper, and Skeletal Arsonist. Because you'll only have a set amount of spirit early on, you'll only be able to choose one of those to get started. The Skeletal Arsonist...
Look at all the gameplay of every single class, by the way. It looks wasted out the wazoo. I feel like if you're not gonna wast, chat, you're gonna be a fucking noob, right? I think you're gonna be a fucking noob, right? You're gonna have to wast, like straight up.
Is the option I picked, as it has the unique ability to explode any low-life minion in your pack. And not only is that very cool, but it also does a ton of damage to packs of enemies or bosses that weaken your minions to explosion status. Later, when I unlocked Bone Cage and Contagion, I was able to further expand my toolkit to create a trap for enemies, hit them with Contagion, and then watch it propagate across enemies, killing everything it touched.
Bro.
Even at early levels, these builds feel very fun to use and execute, and I found myself grinning from ear to ear the entire time I played as the Witch. In addition, Grinding Gear Games gave us a sneak peek at some later game builds, and while they are interesting, I just wanted to briefly say that the gigantic skeleton that is erected by a sorcerer looks so freaking cool. Path of Exile 2 continues to surprise me with designs that are either creepy or look like they jump straight off the cover of a heavy metal album and into the game. I'm at the point where I don't need to see any more, I just want to play more.
That's actually where I'm at, chat. I'm actually at the point where there's like people have all these hands-ons with PoE2, and there's like a million videos out they could watch. But it's like, fuck, I just want to play the game, bro. Just like, fuck, clearly it's playable. Clearly it's almost like beta. Just let me play the beta. I just want to log in myself. You know, that's where I'm at.
The other class that I spent a significant amount...
Maxwell's gonna make the launch of AIDS. That's the most brain dead take I've ever heard. This isn't fucking D4, buddy. This isn't dude. This isn't D4. Like, okay, dude, this is not D4. Okay, you're the most brain dead take I've ever heard. But what? They can't. Okay, do you understand how? Okay, in terms of combinatorics, do you understand how many different various permutations there are? Right? We're talking. This is not like 5 different builds that the character can roll. There's 500,000 viable builds that you could play. Okay. So it's not, you can't just, it's not like, yeah, this is not D4. This is not D4. But, okay. When I am one of the things I'm talking like very similar builds with like slides from pathing, etc., etc., etc. The fact of the matter is though that this is not D4. There is not just 5 builds. That you cannot just like the theory crafting of this game will not be like broken instantly. The metas will evolve and evolve and evolve so fast that you can't possibly test every variation and min-max every single one and then figure out which one's best. Now, there will be things that mathematically make lots of sense, and yeah, they're going to be the initial meta builds, but quickly people will discover interactions just because the nature of Path of Exile having support gems and having different interactions between skills, that they're just not, it's not possible. They can't, the theory crafting of the game is not going to be broken. Now, I think, after a few months, for sure. But then guess what? They'll do balance patches. It'll be fine.
Amount of time with for the first time was the Monk. The build-up to your more powerful attacks takes a bit of time, but somehow the Monk really surprised me. You start out with a methodical smack to the enemies you'll face, but once you start getting your skill gem combat kit together, the class gets really fun and powerful.
How do they use the other
fast.
potions, chat?
Near the end of...
Can I get it? These guys only have 2 potions, but in the other clips they have 4 potions or 5 potions. How come they only have 2 potions in these ones? I don't get that. There's only 2. But wait, there was 5. Not in the other clip, and then in the latest Path of Exile one, there was more potions. Look. YouTube.com. So you're just wrong, right? Path of Exile. 3 days ago. Literally, there's potions.
But there's a lot of different types to choose
from. Only 2 potions! There's only 2 potions! Only 2 potions! Okay, video posted 3 days ago. Official PoE account. Like, they literally stop, bro. But then they keep showing this, and it's only 2 potions. It's like, well, is there like a spec on the tree that like makes like when you're on console, do you just get like a temporary mage blood or something? So like your other potions are just always active, or they're smart casted, or like how does that work? I don't know.
Of my demo, I had the Tempest Bell skill gem that would drop a massive bell onto the battlefield. When struck with any elemental ailments, including my Frozen Locust AoE damage, it would create an elemental shockwave and deal extra freeze damage to anything in the vicinity. But my favorite combo included Killing Palm and Staggering Palm, which let me zip into battle with a Staggering Palm strike, drop a Frozen Locust into a group of enemies, attack the bell, and finish off anyone left over with the Killing Palm strike. That Killing Palm final blow would then give me a power charge that can stack up to 3 times. Once powered up, you could execute Falling Thunder and create a ripple of damage that tore across the map and obliterated anything that got in the way.
It just looks like he's constantly dying, bro. He's like hardly clearing anything in all these clips. I annihilated all the skeletons. I decimated their numbers with a huge rippling lightning crash. And it's like he's like at 1 HP dying. There's like a single guy attacking him. Like
sounds like a bit of setup, and it can be, but the reward makes it so fun to pull off time and time again. Shit. This surprisingly fun gameplay loop seems to be present for each class I've played so far. While there are still my personal favorites, having taken some time to try out the Sorceress and Warrior at an event the next day, I think that 5 seconds of fun is going to be there for all the classes. I keep finding myself grinning as I learn how that introductory skill gem build synergizes together in a way that's hard not to love. More generally, Grinding Gear Games confirmed that they've tweaked the gameplay of those introductory moments so that they're more enjoyable for players to learn the game in the beginner areas. And I have to say that the power progression is feeling particularly great at this moment in time. And that adjustment is going to go a long way for Path of Exile 2 because the developers just revealed that couch co-op will be an option for players in the same household. Shit. I tried about an hour of this, and it definitely is going to be a big selling point for anyone in the same household who wants to jump into a game and level up together. The only slightly disorienting aspect to this was the inventory menu that takes up a large portion of the screen, so hopefully your teammate isn't bringing it up during combat too often, but otherwise it feels pretty seamless. A few classes are still yet to be officially revealed, but Path of Exile 2 continues to impress me every single time I get some hands-on time with it. The Ranger demo got me to roll a Ranger in the new season of Path of Exile on PC. The Monk in Path of Exile 2 surprised me as it became very powerful so early on, and it made me want to try out all the other classes to see if I'd be surprised in the same pleasant way. Path of Exile 2 will likely have a few more pre-release reveals before launch, but I am ready to dive in right now, and based on what I've played over the last several months, this is shaping up to be a game you should not.
But I don't like the jet. Why don't they do the health bar and show you how much damage you're going to take in poison on your health bar? Why do they make the whole health bar green? That just confuses me, bro, for real. For real, dude. Like, why don't they just show the amount of damage, the predicted damage taken?
Not miss. We'll find out for sure when Path of Exile 2 goes into closed beta later this year. For more on Path of Exile, check out my Ranger preview, and for more on all things gaming, keep it right here on IGN.
It's weird. Looking at this gameplay, chat makes me feel like a little bit uneasy because it's like it just looks so different. And I haven't played it. I haven't played the West setup. I haven't played the West setup, you know. So it makes me feel this type of way, chat. It's hard to describe. But we'll see. I mean, we'll just see, right? We'll just fucking see how it feels when we get it. Just have to wait for it to fucking come out in beta and just try it out. I'm totally on the fence with the West. I have no idea if I'm gonna like it. It's gonna suck if I don't like West though. I'm gonna hate it if I don't like West and it's like OP to use West. So you're a noob if you don't use West. That's gonna piss me off. But then again, you just have to develop the brain connections to do it. You can always just learn, right? You can always just learn.
Because he is
God Gamer.